Welcome back to Supersize Sports right here on Bite Size Sports. I am Kev. With me, as always, my dear friend James. James, it is finally almost upon us. We have more and more football topics each week. You and I were having a little chuckle about one in particular. Should we share with the audience?
Only, Kev. Darts only. Yes, the answer is yes, we should share this. Oh, they are getting mocked across social media for this post. Well, it's such a weird cut. Whoever made this needs to really rethink their life. Yeah.
What? Looks so real.
God, I hate them. What is this stupid dance at the end? I can't. I hate Colorado. I can't stand them. I pray the Huskers beat the shit out of them.
Gotta love a good conference rival.
They're the most overhyped team in America.
Oh, I agree with you there.
Now, they did come out and they got mocked so hard they tweeted the correct angles of two of them.
They had to prove
it is actually. They had to prove it is actually the play, which good for you, I guess. Maybe don't tweet out, cut something that stupid up.
Yeah, it was just such a weird way to edit it. It looked so fake.
Terrible editing. It looks so fake. Like he catches it, yeah, like it's a touchdown. Like it's such a weird edit.
Let's see. Okay. Same audio. It lines up. It looks like it was real.
Yeah. No. Now we get this stupid fucking dance. And I love Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter's awesome. He's gonna be a hell of an NFL player. But look, right below it. Darts only, Montana football, mocking him right below it.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's go.
Look what I found.
Just getting
Montana.
Like it's just God.
Get you some. Yeah. I love it. I love to hate it.
So bad. I hate. Like I hope they suck this year, but God, it's so funny.
You gotta love.
Why use that angle?
Yeah, I don't know.
My God, I gotta show this one. I just found another one. This one's great.
Let's go. I love it.
I gotta pause this real quick. It's Idaho football. This one's awesome. This one's great. Holy shit. What great social media content for the rest of the world.
It is one of my favorite things. A little friendly or not so friendly. Trash talk.
Idaho football. Darts only.
Darts only is the new meme. I love it.
To
himself.
Yes. And he threw it so far he went outside.
Oh my God, what an athlete.
So they actually do a hell of a job of lining up the pass. I give them credit there. Like they tried a little harder. So
they have a better editor. Look at this. Who'd have thought in Idaho?
Yeah, look, the line is actually really good here. Try to do it slow. It's not bad. Not bad. Better than what fucking Colorado did.
Well done. And shout out to the Idaho Vandals, one of my favorite dynasty rebuilds, as I see John in the chat, because I know there's many a college football dynasty rebuild going on in the Bite Size Sports CFB 25 dynasty. I know John's got one. Hacks. Ooh, since John is here, I guess now might be a good time, James, to pivot from our college football cold open to
John, Sam Darnold is your starting quarterback. Please tell us how you feel. I just want to know how you feel. I said this to Kev. I was like, if he's in the chat, we got to ask. How do we feel about Sam Darnold, QB1 for the Minnesota Football Vikings?
Ooh, he's a hilltopper right now. I love that. Another Another in the pantheon of rebuilds of time gone by. See, I am very much we have college football at home right now via NCAA 14. I'm about 2 years away from my Eastern Michigan
Yep.
dynasty being done. You know, when you get too good and you have to start with somebody else. Western Kentucky, one of my favorites. My all-time favorite dynasty, I believe it was 13. I think it was actually 14. It's Old Dominion. You have a junior Taylor Heineke at quarterback. If you still have NCAA 14,
Oh, hell yeah. Well, Taylor Heineke.
Win a
Oh my
Heisman
God,
with old
John,
Taylor Heineke.
John, what a
Ooh, John says, not the take I was expecting. We have two studs in the QB room. It's a coin flip. I can understand the JJ hype a little bit. At least he's a rookie. Okay, they have these alt helmets that just say tops in cursive. Ooh, I love that. That's a Western Kentucky vibe. But you know, as the guy who made the Sam Darnold is seeing ghosts video on this very channel, John, I invite you to go watch that after this. It's only about 3 minutes. It shows one of the unfortunately numerous times he was throwing a lot of interceptions out there. And it reminded me of the time on Monday Night Football where he had a hot mic and said he was seeing ghosts out there. Now he's come a long way. You know, I don't remember what I was doing all those years ago. So since John is accepting this, he's all in with it. He says, check my pin tweet. Vibes are same. I'm going to ask you, James, how do you feel? Because we're opposite ends of the spectrum here. He's in. I clearly will never have faith in Sam Darnold. I will have to
I have
see it to believe it. Where are you at?
Yeah, it's not surprising that they're not giving JJ the reins right out the gate, but Sam Darnold's not going to win no games. Justin Jefferson's going to be mad when that ball is getting thrown. They're going to be so uncatchable. He can't even catch him, and he catches everything. Poor guy.
How many games
sad
for you
Panda.
before the rookie starts? You think JJ's getting the reins this year?
Let's take a look at their schedule. Oh yeah, JJ's getting the reins this year. Give me the
I'm
Vikings
thinking
schedule.
If history repeats itself, while you look that up, I'm kind of trying to think through Sam Darnold's many reboots. All right,
Giants,
Carolina,
Niners. Whoa, Giants. They could win week 1. Niners,
Okay, yeah.
Texans, Packers, Jets, Lions, Rams, Colts. Oh shit!
I give it week 6 or 7.
Somewhere in the middle of that, when they're just getting cooked.
First of all, the Colts better get at least a 38-point lead in that game, or I won't feel safe. But
Jesus.
Woof. Sam Darnold, when he went to Carolina, if memory serves, first 4 games, maybe not first 4 even. First game in Carolina looked good. First couple of weeks, I think people were like, "Oh, okay, change of scenery." Did old Uncle Sam? It did him good. They're firing on all cylinders here. That did not last very long, as we all know. Things did not end well for him in Carolina. We all know how things went in New York. It's hard to even put that on any that franchise was such a dumpster fire for so long. It's one of those. It's almost like Justin Fields for me this year, coming out of playing for the Bears, where I'm just like, yeah, but it was the Bears, dude. I got to see him fail somewhere else before I'm certain it's a him problem. And not the fact that he was stuck with one of the most mismanaged franchises in the last 20 years. But Darnold's had multiple opportunities now, and I haven't seen it yet. I think, given the schedule you just read off, considering that he's had good starts previously, I don't think he makes it to the middle of the season, James. Do you?
No. I don't think he'll make it through that stretch. Niners, Texans, Packers, Jets. That's so tough.
Yeah, it could get real.
Boy,
rough.
that's tough.
I think that Jets game might be his last start. You know, he comes in wanting to get revenge and tries maybe a little too hard. And as John says, maybe at that point they've ironed out.
6-0 at the bye will be tough to Yankee. Get out.
Get out of here. I understand that now. Hey, John's on the take now. He's a Vikings beat writer. He's got a brand to protect. I understand. We get it, John.
Yeah, you gotta believe. Gotta believe. That's that one's tough. That's a hell of a fucking stretch, man. It's just it's a beast of a stretch. Playoff team. Expected
The
to be
team
playoff
that's going to
team,
turn the
playoff team,
upside
then
down.
the dumbest fans in America, and then the Jags and the Titans.
I wonder who those dumbest guys were. I wasn't keeping track.
The ones that believe that all the AR hype. That's those guys.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
that's
AR hype, dude. I'm buying in. Give me that Chase
it's
Daniel hype. Put it in, inject it into my veins.
Yeah,
Always
it
knew.
is. The hype is real for somebody that's played like 4 snaps and got hurt on 2 of them. But what do I know? Just nobody.
I am a lover of hyperbole myself, so I'm going to let that.
Actually,
one slide,
I saw one of the Titans beat writers was arguing with the Bills fan the other day, and he trumped him, and he goes, "Just so you know, you guys have been to as many AFC Championship games since 2019 as the Tennessee Titans. I think you should knock it off." I was like, "That's good." I was like, "That's I'll take that."
Gotcha. Yeah, so while we're in the NFL world talking about training camp, both well, at least I know my team's dealing with some injuries. James, I think you're probably dealing with a little bit too. The big one outside of our camps, though, as you just told me about, was Rondale Moore, right, in Atlanta. Not good news for him.
Nasty knee injury yesterday. They put him on season-ending IR today. Took him off in an air cast on his right knee yesterday. Let's see where it says here. He was carted off. It was a joint practice with the Dolphins. Air cast was on his right knee. They just canceled practice. They ended it right there.
Ooh, that had to be really bad then.
And he was not anywhere. It was a pass to the other side of the field. It wasn't even to him. So I don't know if it was non-contact or what that fucking.
Oh, wow. Oh, that could have been. I mean, it could be anything.
Coming off in an air cast. Oh,
you can hurt yourself.
Scary.
I mean, he could be running his route. I remember tearing a muscle in my leg, slipping on wet grass, trying to cut for a route. You know, like it doesn't.
Yeah,
it could be something. But I mean, with your knee though, that feels like pure speculation here. But you know, it just seems like either. Got entangled with somebody, or got caught in the turf at the wrong angle. It's so unfortunate to see a major knee injury like that, especially when the ball wasn't anywhere near. I mean, this is the unfortunate part of this time of year. We all get really hyped about training camp. Everybody's excited. Inevitably, a bunch of folks go down, their seasons, maybe their careers altered. I wish there was a better way to do it. I don't know that this isn't the best way. It just feels like there are a lot of injuries, and is there a different way? Maybe they could ramp these guys up and get them up to game speed, but it's such a physically demanding sport. You want to give them as much time off as physically possible in the off season. So I don't know if there's an answer to it. I just always hate this part. And he said, yeah, you cut the wrong way once, you miss a whole season. It's tough. It is brutal. And we'll talk about maybe some of those fantasy implications later on at some point in the show. But are you dealing with some banged up players over in Nashville, James?
Ridley's out for a couple of weeks. He did something, nothing crazy to his knee, but I think he'll be back by week 1, but he is not practicing right now, which gives Burks a chance to step up. He's the main one for Tennessee. We signed Quandre Diggs this week. Titans secondary went from one of the worst in the league the last 2 years to like a top 5 unit with Snead, Awuzie, Quandre, Jamal Adams, McCreary. Like they suddenly got really good.
As a Colts fan, do I still pretend that we didn't want him? Price was too high for Diggs.
Yeah,
it made sense. I could play that card with Snead.
You saw Silu's tweet from back in like April where he's like Quandre Diggs and L'Jarius Snead are playing for the Colts.
That's who I blame it on. I gotta blame it on my good buddy.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. I was like, oh my god, that is so great. Yeah, you bunch of weirdos wrestling up there in the north. I don't go to the north. It's cold up
Imagine
there.
if he was a Bills fan. He'd be like, yeah, I got a buddy who got a tore his AC joint putting himself through a folding table.
And he took his arm off and kept going.
Goddamn snow delays, man. They're brutal. Well, the Colts also have some unfortunate injuries going on in their wide receiver room. Josh Downs, a high ankle sprain, I hear, going to be out at least a month.
Don't like that. Don't like high ankle sprains at all.
No, and when I hear at least a month, based on this team's history, I say make it 2. Please.
Yeah,
Please don't rush him back. Guys,
I don't like the Colts at all, but I hate high ankle sprains. Man, they linger. You know if it happened on the practice field? Was it Lucas Oil? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I will say at least they have Jonathan Taylor in the room who can hopefully advocate for him, and I would hope that they have learned that lesson. What up, Nate? Shout out. He says bear down. I like that he only says that the Titans blow.
Actually, we were talking on Twitter. We're both very excited to see the Titans secondary against the Bears receivers. That's a very fun week 1 matchup.
Oh, yeah. I think the key to that one will probably be up front. With Nate here, since we made the show a little Vikes centric when John first joined. So since we have that week 1 matchup,
Nate, come on in, Nate.
Throw it in here, Nate. What do you think about week 1? To me, with the wide receiver versus secondary, my first thought is it's going to come down to the trenches, right? Are the Bears going to get enough pressure on a still unseasoned Will Levis, and vice versa? Obviously, the Bears got a whole different situation up front. How do you feel about that matchup, James? It is a lot more intriguing now with the Diggs.
The right side of the Titans' offensive line is weird. The guy they thought was going to start at right guard, Sadiq Charles, retired 2 days ago. So the right side got even weaker. It was already a problem. So the right side is not great. Nate, it's a trenches battle. Tavondre Swift and Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive line. Tavondre Swift was whatever the top defensive lineman in college football winner last year, but fell because of some character concerns. He has looked like an absolute fucking monster next to Simmons, and makes Jeffrey Simmons look cute, or he looks tiny, and Jeffrey Simmons is a fucking behemoth of a human being. So I think they're going to be a lot of fun together. But the Titans lost an edge guy suspended for 6 games because he fucking was doping. So it's been this linebackers for Tennessee are not deep, and then they lost an edge guy because of you have to cheat a little bit. Which if you're not cheating, you're trying. So what do you do?
One of these days it'll just be allowed. That's what I want. I want 700-foot home runs. I want 100 home run seasons. Just let everybody juice. Damn it! It's their lives.
Yes, the kid looks like Galactus's bowling ball.
That's a good one, John. Look at that. You can tell John's getting his bag now. Got that rider's touch.
So, very excited.
Yeah, Nate. I am obviously rooting for the Bears in week 1. Have to be, not only for my own family ties, but I need that early division boost. A dweeb crossover. Let's go. Yes, John. Love that. So that's at least it for our 2 teams. Some of the bigger news out of NFL training camp. If you guys have other stories you want to hear from us, fire away in the chat. We will be happy to talk about it. But sticking with the world of football, James, this one will be fun, and I think some of the live viewers will enjoy this. As you see on the screen below you, not only is Team USA embroiled in a battle for world supremacy in the Olympics, but our own
blew it today.
They did. We will talk about that soon. Our own military is taking on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and the UFL. James, rumor has it the Army may be seeking a refund for their $11 million
investment. Not $11 million. Jesus.
$11 million, stating the claims are numerous, so I'll just throw a couple of them out. One, that this ad campaign not only failed to bring in a single new recruit to the Army, they actually allegedly lost 38 recruits. There are also allegations that The Rock himself did not meet his personal obligations for this deal. He was supposed to make, I believe, 5 tweets trying to get people to join the armed forces and only did 2 of them. Also, allegations now that his trip to a veterans hospital was paid for by the military as part of this deal. So could you imagine, you hear about celebrities going and visiting people at a hospital, and now just knowing that The Rock went and potentially did that just for a $1 million payday. Like, that's the only reason he showed up.
That's crazy, man.
Not a great look. What are your thoughts, James?
Not a great look. I know I'm okay if like the military pays his expenses to go there, but the way you make it sound like it was he just literally checked off a box, didn't. It's bad deal, and it's not been a good look for him recently. Ever since Black Adam, shouldn't have made Black Adam,
which was the first one. Yeah, that really is what started to expose it, because you make a great point, James. Isolated on its own, this is a bad look, but it's like everybody has bad marketing campaigns, whatever. You might be able to write it off as, oh, hey, well, he is speaking of steroids, he is a 50-plus-year-old man, clearly on steroids, who is never in the armed forces. Maybe the Army shouldn't have given him all that money to sell something that they had no reason to believe he could sell. Maybe they just thought he could sell anything. It doesn't help.
What are they doing giving 11 million? Like that's an insane number.
Yeah. You want a tax cut? Because I think I found a place where we could save 11 million in taxes for next year, huh?
Yeah, Jesus, guys.
I'm just saying.
Living. I'll take.
Can we vote? Million,
can
we vote on that?
More than that? I'll get you more than -38.
Do the stupid Call of Duty campaign or something. If you're gonna waste my money, at least do a cool campaign ad, dude. Come on.
Jesus.
Who am I kidding? Can't believe it didn't work, but you have
stunned.
His Instagram.
Call me stunned. Call me flabbergasted.
I feel shocked. You have his Instagram debacle with the 3 different times he tried Sonic for the first time, with the mass unsubscribing, 200,000 plus people unfollowing The Rock on Instagram when they realize that he doesn't do anything that isn't a branded, paid, sponsored post. So people started to see through it. Then there's the whole Hawaii debacle. I will keep my politics out of this, but let's just say it's not a great look for Oprah and The Rock to go and ask a bunch of regular common folk to donate their money to help Hawaii when you're 2 multi-millionaires. Like, you guys give the money. Don't ask me for the money. So he's had that. There's the whole Black Adam thing where this all started for a lot of people, as James mentioned, where then the rumors come out that he pees in water bottles because he doesn't want to go to the bathroom, and he has his employees throw his piss bottles away. He is alleged to be upwards of 8 hours late to movie shoots. So there is maybe a reason every movie he's involved in goes massively over budget, because they're spending half their time just waiting for him to show up. That's all those people cost money. All those props cost money. A lot of people don't get along with him. So it's spiraling out of control for a guy who not that long ago people were saying could run for president with either party. He was so popular. So it burns up on you quick.
Gone south fast.
So that is our fun time with the UFL. I am now even more saddened, James, by the XFL USFL merger. I call it a bias, a personal bias, if you will. Cards on the table. I covered the USFL before it became the UFL. Was at the last championship game. Thought it was a superior product to the XFL the entire time. Didn't love the merger. And now we're seeing the UFL in probably one of its biggest deals. Basically, the client's asking for a refund. So this could impact spring football negatively as well. I wish the USFL had stayed away from the XFL, but we're here now. So hopefully it doesn't ruin the opportunity that all these players might have. And maybe over at TKO Endeavor, The Rock will get so busy he can just stay away from this spring football thing that I think it's been pretty clear, guys, that wrestlers don't know how to run football leagues. Can we stop? Can we stop with the
Yeah.
wrestling people running? I love wrestling. Okay, keep it out of football.
I think we just need to stop with trying to make other football leagues. Like, they never survive. That is the fans outside of St. Louis. St. Louis is the only team that can house one because they lost their team and they're still mad about it.
Yeah, in Oakland.
They just never work. It's just they always lose money. Yeah, and just give it to all disgruntled cities.
Yeah, just how about the NFL just pony up and have their own damn minor league system and run that in the spring? Now, I guess the issues there
they don't need to
is a short turn. But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind there being. I love the idea of if people want to continue their career, just like basketball players can go to Europe now, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I don't hate that being an opportunity for folks, but yeah, it's a bummer that we may lose spring football. I'm a fan of it because it's the only way we'll get to see certain college talent play as pros. We'll have and then they'll get brought onto a practice squad unless they're a kicker. That's also greatest kicker of all time last year came from the USFL. So it's got some merit, I will say, unlike the topic of the center of our next topic. Easy for me to say, pal. Pat Bev, a future Harlem Globetrotter, that's my guess, is started to trot the globe physically. He's talking about, James, I don't know if you guys knew this, Pat Bev chose to go to Europe because he was tired of standing in the corner in Milwaukee. Y'all don't understand. Pat Bev's NBA run has been cool. He's had a nice little role, but he wants to go back to being the guy.
The guy, he says,
in the final possession where he gets to call an ISO, step back, shoot the pull up. Because we all know how well he can hit an open three, let alone shooting off the dribble. So, James, how do you feel about the most recent case of Pat Bev's undeniable delusion?
Why do we keep giving this guy? Shut up.
That's fair.
He sucks. He averages 7 points a game. He's not ever been that dude.
He is.
Get out of here. He's got to be. I hate playing with him.
Yeah, he's that perfect case of just somebody's personality getting them over. Russ Westbrook, I think, has been vindicated in a few different ways over the last season or two once he got out of LA. But one of the things that Russ was undoubtedly correct about, in my humble opinion, was that infamous soundbite where he said, Pat Bev be tricking y'all, where he was just basically like, this guy has talked himself into convincing you he's a lockdown defender because he's had a couple of moments here and there that he's capitalized on.
He's not a lockdown defender, but man, he'll still act you.
It's a less talented Draymond Green, and that I didn't meant as a compliment to anybody involved, if I'm being honest with you.
Yes.
So I guess sticking with the basketball of it all and getting back to the Team USA side of things, James alluded to it early on in the show, but Team USA will be playing for gold in the Olympics despite their best efforts, right, James?
Serbia gave it their all today. The Joker tried to get them. They were up by 17 at one point. Team USA won by 4. Steph Curry saved their fucking ass. Steph Curry had 35?
Yeah, 34 or 35, something like that. He went off.
Yeah. I mean, they were awful. What was the box score this game? Good Lord, it's hard to find this shit. Let's see. It is really hard to find stats on Team USA basketball games. Thanks, ESPN. I just want the stats.
ESPN in general, just an inferior website when it comes to sports coverage.
I should not be on this.
ESPN has rested on their laurels for far too long, and they are getting beat up and down the block by anybody and everybody in this business.
Yeah, he had over 29. Oh, 36. There it is. Jesus.
Ooh, we're both wrong.
He had
Damn, we were
36.
close.
Yeah. Without
You
him, they
win.
lost today. They would have lost today. And I don't know. Kerr's rotations are weird.
Because he's a bad coach. No.
Yeah, the fact that Jason Tatum is not playing at all is odd to me.
Okay, he's not a bad coach, but
At least he did in the fourth.
maintain he's not a great coach.
Yeah.
He's
At least
decent.
in the fourth quarter, he figured it out and didn't just sub anybody. The only sub he had was Joel Embiid for Anthony Davis. His lineup was Curry, and it was Curry, Durant, LeBron, Devin Booker, and then Embiid or Anthony Davis. Like, play your best.
Yeah,
players.
it's like a 12-year-old playing 2K. Yeah. But when I point out that I don't think he's that great of a coach, Twitter loses its mind. James, I want you to correct me.
Me and you have talked about that. Like, he's a good coach, but like, you don't put him in the Eric Spoelstra pantheon, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
who is
exactly.
His assistant, who should be a coach?
Right. And so with that in mind, sort of when it comes to this, Jason Tatum specifically, because honestly, with where Halliburton, like, what are you going to do? You're going to not play Steph for Tyrese Halliburton? I understand to some degree now that we're in the medal hunt why Tyrese wouldn't be playing as much. But do you think Jason Tatum not playing, is it more about Tatum? Is it more about Kerr? Or is there just not room for him on the floor with this team?
He doesn't shoot it great from three, which hurts. I think that's a big part of it. But it's odd. I mean, they just won a title. He's a stellar player.
Yeah. It's not like he's, with all due respect, he's not Christian Laettner in this situation where it's like, well, one of these things is not like the other.
I say it's a terrible three-point shooter. Like, he's not great, but he's shooting 30. He shot 36 or 37.6%. So he's not terrible either.
With the volume,
him not playing is weird to me. I don't know. I guess you got to pick and choose. Like, with the lineup at the end there, it's LeBron and KD's a better shooter, Curry's a better shooter, Devin Booker's a better shooter.
If Steph weren't on this team, there might be a little conspiracy bulb going off in my head. Like, oh, of course he's gonna want LeBron and KD out there all the time, right? Like, who else can I tire out? Win, lose, or draw. I don't care. We're gonna make sure these old dudes log a lot of minutes, dude.
A lot of minutes to give us a chance.
These Eastern Conference guys, they can sit, dude. Get your legs fresh. I don't care about you. I'll see you in the finals, maybe.
Derek White's probably a better three-point shooter. He's like, Derek White's playing over Jason Tatum, which is quite wild.
That is interesting. It depends on the role. I mean, for my money, Derek White's
39.6 on more shots a game. So yeah, he is a better three-point shooter.
And he is a great utility player. Like, he handles the ball well. He would be serviceable to run
He's a good
your
defender,
offense. Good defender, can play either position on the wing, shoots it pretty well. I think he's one, despite his elevated status, maybe making Team USA cuts into that a little bit. I think he's been one of the most underrated players in the league for several years now. So, but it is interesting. Like, Tatum starts every night for that team, no matter what. And White over the last couple of years earned his. So it is just very interesting. It's all according to the media. It's all Tatum and Brown. And here's Derek White.
No, Derek White's such an important piece of that team winning the title. They were so good this year, and he was a huge part of that. But I mean, you look at their stats: Tatum 26.9, White 15.2. Tatum averages almost double the rebounds, 0.3 less assists. It's interesting.
My Pacers equivalent would be like if Nembhard were playing over Halliburton, where it's like, oh yeah, Nembhard's great, I love him, but like, we got Hallie right here. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So we shall see. Now, before we move on from this topic, despite Jokic's best effort, the Team USA will be taking on the home country, my motherland. Vive la France. Although we'll see. I don't know who. We'll save it for the end of the segment. I'll tell you who I think will win. Because first, I would like to hear from you, James. France versus Team USA. Who do you like going into this one? Who's taking home the gold?
I like Team USA to pull it off. Who does France have? They got Victor, They've got 2 guys scored more than him today.
Let's see who they've got. I'm assuming they still have Gobert, Batum.
Yeah, did he not? He might not have played though.
Oh,
he might not have played today. Something's going on with him.
Fournier. Batum plays almost
Fournier,
all game. Yeah, I was gonna say Batum is there. Like he's that dude.
Yabusel, Batum, Fournier.
He's that utility guy that always goes off at the Olympics.
Gobert only played 5 minutes today. Evan Fournier played 20. Give me the Americans. Good for France for getting.
Yeah, they were already. If memory serves, they played in the medal round 4 years ago too, right?
They were in the championship.
They're in the championship game again.
Yes,
yeah,
that's correct. Yes.
So
yeah.
I'll take
team. The Americans, but yeah.
But yeah, props to France for back-to-back runs with obviously they have Wemby this time. That helps them out. But John says, can I get a little Nando DiColo love? Thank God this is a sports show. You put something like that in another chat, you might get blocked. You might get timed out.
He did play 3 minutes, yeah.
He sound like Nando on the bench. Can I get some Nando DiColo love? He sounds like he was the first guy to circumnavigate the globe.
I agree. Yeah, like I said, fucking Christopher Columbus out there.
World famous conquistador Nando DiColo. Oh, that's inappropriate. We love all.
Can't say that.
All countries and all cultures here at Bite Size Sports. And speaking of that and the world's stage, I also am going Team USA, by the way, in case I forgot to say that. In 2028, at the next Olympic Games, James, we have a new sport that Team USA had better goddamn win the gold in, because flag football is on its way, with Jalen Hurts being the ambassador for American flag football. So 2-part question, James. First one, what are your thoughts on flag football being an Olympic sport? And part 2, if it was your decision, who would you pick from either college football or the NFL to be the ambassador for flag football? Would you have gone with Jalen Hurts?
I would have probably try to get somebody like Mahomes or somebody, but Hurts is fine. It's flag football. It's just weird. Like, what are we doing?
Trying to get more sports in that we can win.
Yeah, it's really it. Like, you're just putting all this weird shit in. Like, whatever. Like,
meanwhile, there are going to be other countries that actually see. We'll just be sending everybody that can't play tackle football at a pro level to this.
Yes, John. I'm trying to think of somebody sexier. Sure, like whatever. Go. I don't approve. I know I'm fine with Jalen Hurts. I do not approve of flag football. It's just such a weird. All these weird sports they add. I'm just like, why?
Ooh, I love this opportunity for a hot take debate here, because you may not have known this, but flag football helped keep ramen noodles in my microwave during college, James. One of the many intramural sports that I officiated was flag football. Played in flag football my entire college career, because believe it or not, guys, I didn't have what it took to be a college football wide receiver. I know you're all shocked right now.
Stunning development.
I am not. Believe it or not, there was no knee injury that really took. It was never going to be that for me. So flag football, I have a lot of memories tied up to it. I have a lot of love for the sport. The Olympics, to me, and I mean this with the utmost respect, what I often am reminded of is this whole thing started with a couple of Greek dudes wrestling each other on a mountain. So like, I am not going to be the guy who says your sport can't be an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
We like the steeplechase thing, I think is so stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
It's so weird.
Somebody told me earlier today, I was playing disc golf. My buddy was like, oh yeah, well back in the day, they'd pick a church in the city, and people would have to run to it through the city and whatever obstacles might be in the way, and therefore you would race each other to the steeple, hence a steeplechase. Every day's a school day. But when you just put like a couple of platforms and like leave a hose lying in the middle of a track, and then there's this random
puddle they got to jump in, like,
I was like, why do these world-class athletes have to run in soggy shoes now, all for that stupid little puddle gimmick? What the hell was that? What are we doing?
So weird. Yeah.
So I was jazzed when they added 3-on-3 basketball, James. So I'm excited for this, partially because our international American football team has been getting its ass beat every now and again. Like the U20 teams getting beat by countries that weren't playing football when we were growing up.
No, I'm in. Now we got to take it back.
So now we got something to play for, baby. And for me, if there were an alternate universe where Tyreek Hill didn't have 28 kids from 12 different women, I think he would be the ideal flag football.
Yeah, but he's just not a great. Not a great. Yeah, he'd be an ideal flag, but it's not. Maybe we should not do that.
So we'll stick with Jalen Hurts. You know, I think that was a decent ambassador. John says, send only East Texas and South Florida kids. Enough is enough.
Yeah, I agree. Just do that. I'm in. I agree completely.
We cannot. The sport is called American football. All right, there are plenty of sports where I would say, all right, you know what, soccer, like the world's oldest sport, fine. If Team USA isn't great in men's soccer, I'm all right with it. But if we are getting our ass handed back to us in American football, some shit ain't right here. Why aren't we sending the good kids to go out and play international? Because we thought we were that good. I think that's what happened. We were just like, oh, we got decades before any of these bums catch up. And they're like, no, it turns out, guess what? Football's a fun game. A lot of humans like to play it once they're exposed to it. Who'd have thought some people might jump in on that? John says, worst part is we get wiped in baseball too. America's pastime. That's right.
You're right.
Oh, God.
He's not wrong.
Ooh. I mean, shoot, we're on the verge, James, of losing basketball. And I guess that's one thing I want to run by you before we move on from this. For the majority of our lives, even still, I would say it was a foregone conclusion that Team USA would at the very least be playing for the gold, and it would take some small miracle for them to not win the gold. It wasn't all the time because they weren't sending pros, but there was that window where, oh my God, the dream team is here. Now the international game slowly but surely is catching up. Is the American dominance in this space over? And if it's not, like how many more Olympic games do you think before America is just one of the boys when it comes to basketball?
They're always going to be the best. I don't think there's enough talent per capita to ever go in and be like, all right, America's not expecting to win it. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But, I mean, the world's gotten better. We've seen it. About happened today. Serbia has the best player in the world, and the United States had the next 12. And about lost.
Yeah, you know, I to me, I think it's Canada. I know here we are, and you know, I had a free gimme to say, oh yeah, France, back-to-back Olympic finalists at the very least. You know, they're the next world power in basketball. To me, it just seems with SGA over there in Canada. And they've got Jamal Murray as well. Like, if it's going to be anybody,
Murray was terrible. He was bad this whole tournament. He was poopy,
and that's fair. But I think if I had to pick a country where I'd say the team that's going to start giving the USA headaches sooner rather than later and most consistently would probably be Canada, because I just feel like each year over time, we're getting a few more Canadian superstars. I think it will level out a little bit. The more basketball becomes and the NBA becomes a worldwide sport, we may get kids overseas that instead of playing soccer will go to basketball because there will be more opportunity for them. Much in the way we have here in America. You know, you have some great athletes that maybe end up playing lacrosse because they're just as good at that as they are at football. But wouldn't you know
Mhm.
it, there's millions more kids playing football, and you can go get a free ride to Virginia playing lacrosse. So go do that. Or for women, volleyball or basketball, whatever. So
Mhm.
the more we get these pro leagues, the more we may find it. So I do think the world will catch up a little bit, but with most of that just being the impact of the NBA on the global stage, I tend to agree with you, James. I think it will be a long time at the very least before it isn't just a foregone conclusion that America is going to be on that
Yeah,
podium
it's going
when
to
it
be
comes
some
to
time.
basketball.
Yeah. Going to be some time.
John with a good point with the Wagner boys and some of their other talent. Germany's going to be feisty. Yep. That is a great point. And
He's very right there. Yeah.
I think we've hit just about everything on the docket for today. James, guys, if you have anything in chat, let us know. Before I pivot to my last topic, James, was there anything else that has come across your desk that I forgot to mention you want to talk about?
CD Lamb quote tweeting.
Oh, thank you.
Really
It's right here on my screen, and I didn't. Yes,
I got it.
Please.
I had it up, so I didn't close it. I didn't forget about it. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, the guy that never makes anything about himself. On contract talks with CD Lamb, I don't have an urgency to get it done. And CD Lamb just goes, LOL. Like, get Jerry Jones. Like, it's always about you, Jerry. CD's one of the top receivers in the league. Get it done. Like, what are you doing?
Speaking of getting it done, Jerry, let's get a sports bra involved or start wearing hoodies, my man. Let's come on.
Oof, yeah. Yeesh.
Come on, brother. That ain't right. I guess if there's a certain point you have so much money, it doesn't matter what you look like.
I guess. Does it fucking matter? Yeah.
My God, Jerry. Have a little self-respect. It's just an NFL offseason. It's not an NFL offseason, I should say, if the Cowboys aren't making private negotiations public for no reason.
For no reason, yeah. Dak doesn't have a contract. CD needs one. Like,
when they did it with Zeke too back in the day, and Jerry's always got to point out
all as well. Their prodigal son's back.
That's all going to work out very well. Why can't this guy shut up about this stuff? I mean, my opinion, it doesn't matter if it's true. I have no problem, James, if this is true in Jerry's mind. What benefit is there to say that? He's been doing this way too long to just not be able to come up with a prepared answer for a question like this that doesn't go out of its way to irritate a franchise player. Am I wrong here? Like, do you think he could have? I mean, obviously he could have done better, but
should have learned at some point since the 90s that you shouldn't do this. Didn't he originally hate fucking Jerry or Jimmy Johnson, and then he just hates everybody because they're not him?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jimmy was gone because of similar things, because Jerry always has to be right, and he thought he was the mastermind. He was the brains behind the operation. Yeah. And they've been chasing that high ever since, and they can't do it. And it's all because Jerry won't acknowledge that he is the problem.
It's the problem.
So just put the fries in the bag, Jerry. Yeah, let your son take over.
The problem.
You got it lucky. Al Davis's kid literally puts a salad bowl on his head and cuts his own hair. Like, Stephen Jones, by all accounts, seems pretty competent. Just go kick your feet up and go tan them man titties. All right. Come on, Jerry. What in the hell?
Yeah, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Like, yeah. I don't know what he's doing, man. He's a dummy.
It's the only way you're going to win one, anyways. If you just
what do we know?
We're
talking about him, so what do we know? We're just talking about him.
Yeah, the Cowboys have gone the reality TV method. Screw winning. That isn't important.
Yeah.
As long as you talk about us, we'll still be America's team. There's no way. Can you even call them that at this point? I would love to see the new
they're not America. I don't call them America's team.
For the last 20 years, it was probably the Patriots, because they had the name and had Tom Brady, so they probably grabbed.
I would agree. Yeah.
Obviously, it'd be trending Chiefs now because of Pat Mahomes and Taylor Swift. But yeah, no, I just dumb. how do you have that much money
Leave us
and not just be able to make good decisions? Like no one can
it's really
save you
hard.
from yourself in this
Yeah.
situation, Jerry.
How would
No
we know?
trusted
I don't
advisors.
have that kind of money.
That's true. That's true.
No
Yeah,
idea.
it'd be hard to tell me what
No
to do if
idea.
I had that kind of money, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree. I'd tell you to go fuck off. Leave me alone, Kev.
I'd be telling you the truth. Yeah, I don't
You're
care. I don't
wrong,
care who you
Kev. Yeah. Fuck it. That's what I say.
We'll get a new CD Lamb. I don't give a fuck. I'm rich.
I don't need that, motherfucker.
All right. Well, while we don't know what it's like, James, to own a real life air breathing NFL franchise, we both have a little bit of experience in the fantasy football world. It's about that time as a commissioner. I've already started to get the texts. When's our draft? What's going on? Sleeper 8 days ago officially renewed your leagues if you're on with Sleeper. So my question for you, James, have you started your fantasy prep yet?
Just barely. I've started opening articles and saving them, which is a good start for me.
Hey, there you go.
I got to get ready. It's incoming. It's here. It's that time. I got a fantasy survivor. I got to get my ass in gear.
Pro tip, little for the Twitter heads out there. Something I do for shows like this that I am going to implement for fantasy football coming up. Use your bookmarks. Perhaps create a new bookmark folder for fantasy football. So that way you can do what James is talking about. And as you see a tweet, let's say you're a kind of guy who likes to pull up Twitter on the toilet or during a work lunch break, and you don't really have time to process all of these things. Or maybe you're just in a meeting that's boring. I don't know. I don't work with you. Do what you do. But you can save those bookmarks for later on when you have some time to check it out. That is our fantasy football pro tip of the day, which you guys will get a lot more of very soon from some people who play a lot more fantasy football than I do, as another damn fantasy podcast is back here on Bite Size Sports, coming, I believe, next Wednesday. It will be Wednesdays at 9:15 Eastern, 8:15 Central. Trevor is coming back with our good friend Josh, who John knows from Vikings coverage. Should be great. Hopefully, our boy Nate will get in there and talk a little fantasy football as well. I know
I will talk about the Bears. Can't do that. Can't let them. Sorry, Nate. Can't allow it.
Not gonna do it, but very excited to have that show back. Trevor and Josh are gonna do a great job. I know I will be tuning in, and for those of you who would like some help with your drafts, I can't speak for anyone else on the team, but once again, for the third season in a row, I will be doing a bunch of different mock drafts that we will be publishing as videos. If you're interested, guys, in doing a live stream fantasy mock draft session, I would be more than happy to fire up some mock drafts and let's pick a situation and do some mock drafts as a group, as a squad. I think that could be a lot of fun. So we are tuning up the band for some major fantasy football coverage here on Bite Size Sports. So make sure you guys are ready for that. James, anything that you've got to say? And if not, you want to let the folks at home know where they can find you?
It's almost that time, folks. Football's about here. The lull is almost over. Life is about to be good again. No, in the sports world, that's all I've got. You can catch me and Kev on our sister station on Mondays at 6 p.m. talking nerd shit on the Weekly Dweeb. And then on Wednesdays, talking Star Wars on Han, Shot First, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you like nerd shit, come on down. Come hang out with us. That's all I got today.
And that is fantastic. I am right there with James at all the times he just mentioned. Of course, we've got our Wednesday show. We've got our Thursday show here.
It's actually a law.
Yeah, it's in our bald charter. We've also got the speaking of bald guys, Danny and I on Sunday mornings and Tuesday evenings on the Clout Route. Come check us out. the fastest growing comedy podcast in my neighborhood. I checked. And other than that, check us out at Carnage Media, where we have our combat sports pay-per-views, tons of stuff coming for you. But make sure, above all else, you are subscribed to this channel. We thank the 650 plus of you that are currently joined with us. We are on our way to membership perks, a merch site coming on the store. So if you like what we're doing or you want to see us do something else, leave us a comment. Let us know. We'd love to hear from all of you. And until then, we hope you all have a great rest of your week, a wonderful weekend, and
Enjoy your
we will
weekends,
see
folks.
you next time.